Hello class, today I'll be presenting the economy of Brazil for my session 5 final assignment. Just a quick economic snapshot of Brazil. Brazil has seen GDP growth every year from 2016, 2017, and 2018. Compared to the rest of the world, their growth ranks at a 169. Brazil is going through a time of economic recession, so the numbers don't reflect the vast growth that they've attained over the years, making them the eighth largest economy in the world. Um, Inflation, as you can see, from 2017 through 2019 has remained constant and controlled with the help of the central bank. Unemployment numbers are high due to struggles with the global pandemic and other factors. As you can see, although they're the largest emerging economy, one of the largest emerging economies in the world, they do face economic challenges. Largely due to the pandemic. We're seeing supply constraints, supply and demand constraints. We're seeing we're seeing higher inflation numbers than usual. There's also been a change in leadership to Jair Bolsonaro. Former president was taken out of office due to political scandals. Um, so the economy is also recovering from a recession. So government, fiscal policy, and monetary policy. The government's role in the economy has just been developing policies to deal with some of the undisciplined fiscal and monetary policies that we've seen in the past with past leaders um, who have become corrupt and just recovering from those effects. Um, the mark the Their economy is a free market economy. They have trade deals with nations like the United States, China, some of the largest and more developed economies in the world. Um, Fiscal policies deal with reducing trade barriers, improving working conditions, monetary policies to control inflation, and capping public spending. They're also a part of Mercosur, a trade bloc that includes several nations such as Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay, and are currently seeking participation in the European Union and Canada. The central bank's role in fiscal is in fiscal consolidation, government effectiveness, private sector investment, productivity growth, inclusive and sustainable development. Some challenges and issues that the nation faces is the smuggling of illicit drugs and firearms to other nations, neighboring nations such as Argentina and Uruguay. Those those activities do inhibit the relationship with those nations. Also, there's organized narcotics movement, paramilitary activities that penetrate Brazil's border region with Venezuela. Impact of current issues on the economy. Right now, they're experiencing poor labor conditions. These conditions are important to address, and they must be a priority. And processes must be instilled from the government um, for when compared to the United States economy and the United States worker. Parents who raise their children from a place of productivity often raise productive children in the next generation. Scripture also says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's Proverbs 22:6. So the quicker that Brazil deals with um, slave labor practices and creating more productive workers and giving fairer wages, the the quicker that these poor labor conditions will be resolved, and it will lead to continued growth within the nation. Another issue is income inequality. Although they rank very high on the Gini um, scale, um, income inequality isn't all about the wealth of the rich. However, the top 10% of the wealthy have 43.4% of the total wealth of the country. And the bottom 10% hold 0.8%. Um, so the nation needs a lower unemployment rate and to provide opportunities to work. As a nation, they have a responsibility to put together processes and develop training and other programs to provide fair wages and safety for their employees to create that longevity and that in a brighter career path for unskilled workers. Some trade exports and imports. Brazil is the largest exporter of soybeans. They also export crude petroleum, iron, corn, and wood pulp products. Some imports are refined petroleum, vehicle parts, crude petroleum, integrated circuits, and pesticides. So also dealing with trade exports and imports. With deals with China, they've seen large increases in the volume of soybeans exported. And they have made that product one of their greatest specialized and most invested product. Um, and Brazil continues to look for those trade deals with other nations so they can continue to invest in specialization. Um, and currently they are in a trade surplus, meaning their exports do outweigh their imports. Economic development, some causes of poverty. Um, so, in, um, so economic struggles of the nation. Some of the causes of poverty include some poor working conditions and unfair wages, and also an uneven distribution of wealth and opportunities. Some policies that I would recommend are policies that would protect the wages for unskilled workers, that would enforce safety, food safety, job protection through unions, more trade deals with other nations so they can continue to um, maintain that trade surplus and maintain that GDP growth. Skills and training that I would bring to economic development would be skills that I currently possess in business management and administration, just to properly lead and mentor employees and other managers that want to um, just follow in those same footsteps. Skills in communicating economic policies, just knowing the policies and how they relate to the everyday workplace. Also, I've been trained in safety measures, such as watching for slips and trips and falls. Um, you know, using a cut glove when cutting things, and just different things like that to just to protect workers and um, which because workers and human capital are extremely important to a growing economy. Also, helping the disadvantaged. Some things that I would do is just use my marketing and operation skills to help workers and managers and business owners to understand the supply chain, understand how to market products, and understand how supply and demand. Communication skills, just continue to um, create additional trade deals with other nations, just understanding the effects of globalization and how to trade internationally, but also protect the worker at home and protect the environment. Also training unskilled workers with my understanding of technology and computers would also help to um, promote these workers to higher paying positions as well. In conclusion, Brazil, they're going through a recession right now, but they're still one of the fastest developing economies. They have vast natural resources available. They're finding oil wells, and they have they specialize in soybean production, wood ripe products. Also, some opportunities to overcome is just policies to counter that recession, just to keep that inflation under control, and also just continuing trade deals with other nations, and just continue to develop the economy and grow the economy. And just some analysis. Brazil still boasts a 1.13% GDP growth in 2019. They still continue to work with the central bank in controlling inflation. Um, Unemployment is on the rise. Um, However, just just providing some services and some training, some programs for unskilled workers would really help to create longer lasting jobs. Also protecting workers and keeping them safe. Continued growth just through specialization, continuing to recognize products that they specialize in, and just keep that maintain that trade surplus, which is in 2019 was 14.3% of the GDP.